What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 90-day fiance video, and this one right here I'm talking about Mike. Mike is the man that I said, or I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, that I feel like he's the kind of man that would put his hands on a woman, because there was just something about him that was just so off key. It was just undeniable. And to be fair with you, the fact that he loves to just, my apologies, the fact that he just loves to sit there looking at Ximena while she's sleeping as well, that screams red flags, and that screams certain traits that certain people in this world have that do very dangerous things that are just unforgivable, if you dig what I'm saying. But before we get into this post that Ximena posted basically exposing Mike, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel. And of course, if you're looking to become a member of the channel, the join button's right there next to the subscribe button, where the notification bell's there too, so you're notified each time I upload something new. But with that being said though, I will say this though, this post itself in particular, as you can see, it is not in English, but luckily, obviously, when this was emailed to me, I was then given a translation anyway off of this website, which is absolutely phenomenal. But I must say though, I cannot confirm if the website is 100% correct in terms of its translation, purely because as I read this throughout, you will notice that the English is quite unbalanced, you know what I mean? So it is not necessarily my awful reading, which it is awful. It's more or less the fact that this is actually very hard to read because there's literally no... Yeah, anyway, you get the gist as I start in a second, ladies and gentlemen, just giving you a fair warning right now. But, and to be fair, do feel free to pause it and read it yourself if you like. But anyway, as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, it starts off by saying, well, Ximena starts off by saying, there is nothing wrong with my son's father. And P.S. Mike is not a stone in candy. He is not a good man. It was more gonorrhea. Mike, who tried to hit me too. Kisses, so they talk without knowing what kind of man he is. They don't know what I had to put up with was this man, and how he hit me and scratched me over a phone gives me rage. And they say what he is not, and that they say things defending him as if he were a good man, and he is a filthy man. The only good thing was when he gave me money, and I never forced him to give me more advice. I'm pretty sure I meant something else. And P.S. I thank him. And P.S. Now I'm happy without hiding from anyone, and I do what I want. And P.S. I live happily away from everything. But don't say that Mike was the best. Why not know what he is capable of doing is worse than a hitman sending others to threaten. If they came near me, he kills. And I don't know what he does if not threatened. Don't know what he is that pisses me off. Only that I can't tell nothing. But I got tired of this shit, and I don't give a shit that everyone knows. That everyone knows, sees the real truth of what happened, and how I met Mike on a page webcam, blowing hay. There I met him, and I did him for the money, but it was disgusting to see him naked. So, you know, the grand scheme of things, ladies and gentlemen, just to get the, you know, I read it to my best abilities, and what I picked up from there is that, one, he's put hands on her before. Obviously, she said there is a case where he's obviously physically harmed her, he's even scratched her, and then also on top of that, they actually met on a webcam. So that means she obviously was, or seems as if she was, some sort of webcam girl, and that's my only assumption by her saying it's a webcam. And I think that would low-key explain why she isn't working anymore, because she left her job after she met Mike. And it does kind of seem fitting, doesn't it, that she left her job, obviously. And to be fair, she kept talking about how she was a model. You know, that was the quite fascinating part. And, you know, a lot of us were like, was you? Where? What? Who? It makes sense now. Maybe she was a webcam model, and maybe she wanted to get more work. So therefore, when she goes back to her webcam line of work, she get more money, because I guess she'll be new and improved. I don't know. But the grand scheme of things is that a lot of things seem to kind of be some things kind of seem to be making more sense to me now, because the grand scheme of it is that I said, and I've always said, that I feel like Mike is the kind of person that will go and find a woman who's abroad purely because he believes that he could probably control her as long as he's paying everything that she needs in her life. And let's be honest, in some of the scenes throughout the season, the way she has kind of asking for money has been kind of like, wow, that's just kind of like straightforward. I mean, the way she was like, well, if you don't give me money for this, then I won't marry you. If you don't do this, and you know, a part of me thinks, lady, don't you have some how can you come across so cutthroat, you know what I mean? But now it kind of makes sense, because clearly whatever arrangement they had based on their relationship, it obviously involved with Mike obviously always paying her. I mean, look at this way. He's been paying her bills, he's been paying for her children, he's been paying for everything. And the matter of fact is, though, if he's obviously met off a webcam and he's obviously convinced her to come off it, so therefore he can look after her, it doesn't make sense why she's been moving the way she has been moving. And I guess really and truly we've been wrong to kind of judge it then, if this is all true, if you dig what I'm saying. But the grand scheme of things is that I'm not happy that I was proven correctly, but the grand scheme of things is that she's come out to prove obviously what I was assuming this whole time, and that is that he's the kind of man that would put his hands on a woman. And like I said before, he's a man that is creepy enough to look at a woman while she's sleeping. And there's nothing wrong with looking at your woman or admiring your woman when she's sleeping per se, but there's a fine line between admiring the woman that you love compared to the woman that you are obsessed with because you are 100% a freaking creep. And let's be honest, people that are creeps who look at people, generally the kind of people that go off and do very violent things to those people that they cannot have, or anything like that, if you dig what I'm saying. By the end of the day, I think it is absolutely brilliant that, you know, she didn't end up going to the States. And to be fair though, it does make sense now why she was so kind of startled when he decided to just turn up to Colombia unannounced. In fact, it makes more sense now. It actually makes even more sense why he decided to go there unannounced. Because in the reality of things, most people in relationships that are healthy, like in healthy relationships, usually you would tell your partner if you was going to be flying over to see them. You wouldn't just fly over unexpectedly. Or at least if it was going to be a surprise, you'd maybe tell someone else, you know, maybe a friend or family member or whatever, something, you know, that kind of screams sanity. You wouldn't just get on a plane from the United States of America to Colombia, a plane ride that isn't cheap, you know what I mean, okay, and not tell someone like that. That is booky. That is absolutely booky and creepy and just, yeah. But at the end of the day, that is just my thoughts. That is just my opinions. And to be honest with you, like I said before, it's just insane that how I've had my own assumptions, and now she's coming out with this post that seems to be, you know, hitting the nail on the head in terms of the things that I've been saying pretty much, which is which is really, really sad, because, you know, even though I assumed that he's the kind of man to do this, I didn't for one think that he had already started doing it. But at the end of the day, he found this girl on a webcam website, according to her. And obviously, since at that moment in time, he only had intention to literally just buy her over and not necessarily actually, you know, cherish and look after her like a real man would. Wow. Nonetheless, though, this is also a lesson for him and herself in particular. Just because a man is recruited you or found you on a website or whatever, and he's saying that he wants to give you this and that, it doesn't mean that you should. So to be honest with you, she's just in the wrong as much as he is in terms of actually following through with this guy and whatever the agenda was moving forward. She should have never done it flat out, especially given the fact that she's got children as well. She's obviously putting her children within harm's way of meeting a random guy online that, you know, she didn't know what he was going to be capable of. But obviously it never got to that stage anyway, which is obviously good. But again, it's still advised to her to say, hey, next time slow your roll and just stay in your lane and keep doing what you're doing, okay? Safety is way much more important than chasing a bag of a guy that is a creep. Yeah, I think that's everything. I think that's everything that I want to say on this topic. Yeah. Nonetheless, though, you guys let me know what you're thinking in the comment section, please, and we'll talk about it. Now, what I will do is I will link this what do you call it? I will link the post in the description, okay, for you guys if you want to check it out for yourself in particular, and you want to have a look and you want to have your own thorough read, so therefore you can have your own opinions. Then feel free to do that. The link will be in the description. But thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe, and peace.